Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Honoring claims before highway expansion.
We're hoping that the province will pick up on this and bring it upon themselves to say, we need to sit down with Manslaughter.
A First Nation south of Sudbury says land claims must be settled before Highway 69 construction continues. Plus, fast-tracking Timmins' mining future.
Major game changer, for anybody within the region.
Canada Nickel recently updated the business community on its Crawford Nickel project. And a little support goes a long way.
Even if I only help one kid out of all this, that's one kid who doesn't feel like this alone in the same way that I did.
A Sudbury teenager donates custom teddy bears to young scoliosis patients.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Ian is off tonight. A nearly 3-year investigation into a Sault Ste. Marie death has led to a manslaughter charge. Sault police have arrested a 37-year-old man in connection to the death of Josh Tovet. Investigators say in August 2023, the 35-year-old was found unresponsive in the 100 block of LaSalle Court. Months later, a forensic pathologist confirmed Tovet died from fentanyl intoxication. The suspect was taken into custody yesterday, facing charges of manslaughter and drug trafficking. Police say this marks only the 3rd time in the city's history that a drug poisoning death has led to criminal charges. A First Nation south of Sudbury wants the province to deal with its land claim issue before the community provides other property towards widening Highway 69. We get details from CTV's Angela Gemmell.
Manslaughter First Nation wants Highway 69 to be widened to 4 lanes. They just want the province to resolve their other land issue first. They've been waiting on that one for 5 years.
Manslaughter First Nation is not holding back the expansion of 69. We're not. As far as the land claim, yes, we're hoping that the province will pick up on this and bring it upon themselves to say, we need to sit down with Manslaughter and deal with this issue also.
The province wants to finish 4-laning the final 68 kilometers of the highway, but needs 150 acres of land from Manslaughter, as well as land from Henvey Inlet and Shawanaga First Nations. But before Manslaughter agrees to provide land for the highway, it wants the province to respond to a land claim it filed in 2021. Manslaughter claims the boundaries under the 1850 Robertson-Huron Treaty were not properly set out.
They did the survey in miles rather than leagues. And leagues is worth more than miles. So that's where we got shortchanged.
The chief says negotiations with the Canadian government have been going well, but there's been radio silence from Ontario's Ministry of Indigenous Affairs. Manslaughter's lawyer isn't sure how long it could take to work out the land claim.
The history of this country, the history of this province is no rubber stamp. The length of time that First Nations have to endure fighting for what they believe and what they state in good faith are their legal rights is beyond any rubber stamp I've seen in 48 years in the justice system.
Manslaughter isn't discussing the amount of land connected to the claim.
But we are definitely a growing community and we need the land. We need more homes.
CTV reached out to the Ministry of Indigenous Affairs but did not hear back by our deadline. Manslaughter First Nation is adamant it's not blocking the expansion of Highway 69. They've met several times with the Ministry of Transportation to discuss the land meant for the 4-laning. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Manslaughter First Nation.
A 21-year-old woman from Constance Lake First Nation is facing several charges following a 2-vehicle crash on Highway 655. Provincial police say the collision happened yesterday evening in Calder Township. According to investigators, one of the vehicles involved had been reported stolen out of Hearst earlier that day. One person was rushed to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, while the driver of the stolen car was treated for minor injuries. The driver faces charges of dangerous operation causing bodily harm, possession of stolen property, and driving without a license. An intimate partner violence case led to the arrest of a 28-year-old man and the seizure of a replica gun. Greater Sudbury police began their investigation Saturday, executing a search warrant yesterday and finding a replica handgun at a home. The suspect was arrested without incident. The man faces multiple weapons charges as well as uttering threats. The Timmins business community got an update today from Canada Nickel. The company's Crawford Nickel project was the first mining project in Canada to receive fast-track designations from the provincial and federal governments. CTV's Lydia Chubak has more.
The Timmins Chamber of Commerce hosted a State of Mining luncheon and received an update from Canada Nickel's Chief Executive Officer. Mark Selby explained how it's helped to have both the province and the federal government name it a nation-building project.
So, investors, potential customers, potential partners around the world, see that endorsement, and we had great conversations before. They just took another big step forward. And then on the permitting side, having effectively the concierge service, best way to describe it is, we're well down the permitting path with both the feds and the province.
Once all permits are in place, the company hopes to begin construction by the end of this year. Selby says tensions in the Middle East make projects like this even more important.
The only way you can have a material is if you're able to source it locally. So it's great news for Timmins because we're sitting on what is now the world's largest nickel sulfide district.
Selby's update was well received by the Bucket Shop, a manufacturer and repair facility in Timmins.
Major game changer. I mean, for anybody within the region, right? I mean, at the Bucket Shop, we built for expansion, we built for growth, we built for these kinds of projects, and we built them ahead of time.
And Matagami First Nation Chief Jennifer Constant described Selby as one of the nice ones in the mining industry.
Mark understands the relationship that is necessary and the need to build on that. They've come to us early, they've had discussions with us, they've proposed different things that, different funding opportunities for our First Nation to be able to access to better equip us in our talks with them.
Selby says the company's also pushing forward with its carbon capture efforts and is working with the University of Texas and the Department of Energy. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
New tonight, Sudbury City Council has officially greenlit a $73 million road rehab plan for 2026. The city says the move triples the budget for shave and pave asphalt treatments to $10 million per year, which officials say will allow crews to fix services faster. Additionally, $10 million will be allocated to MR35 for an 8-kilometer renewal from Big Nickel Mine Road to Azilda. The city says this shift will extend the life of roads and delay costly reconstructions. A survivor of the deadly 2018 Humboldt Broncos bus crash is in North Bay for the next few days, talking to students about resiliency and not giving up when the chips are down. CTV's Eric Tashner caught up with Tyler Smith today.
I never thought I would end up coaching.
Resiliency even through the darkest of times. That's the message Tyler Smith hopes to share with North Bay students over the next couple of days.
Having conversations with 13-year-olds about survivor's guilt is something that I never thought I would have to have conversations about.
Smith survived the Humboldt Broncos bus crash. He has no memory of the tragedy that claimed the lives of his 16 teammates, coaches, and other staff members. He considers that lack of recollection a blessing in disguise, as the tragedy marked a turning point in his life.
During the hard days, what gets me through, I think people, that's probably one of the biggest reasons as to why I keep doing this is, there's a lot of really amazing people in the world.
After recovering from his physical injuries, he returned to the Broncos for 10 games. Now he goes on cross-country speaking tours, talking to children and adults about the path towards reflection, healing, and self-discovery.
Mental health is not a battle to be won, it's a journey to continue walking and finding your people that can help you walk.
Smith will be speaking to students at 4 schools as part of a youth symposium hosted by the North Bay Police, and there will be mental health support services on site for anyone who needs additional help.
Mental health is such a concern in the community in general, no matter your age. Give them that hope and that permission that it's okay to put your hand up and ask for help and to talk to people.
Today, he joined the Lions family for a ceremonial puck drop at the Jack Lyons Memorial Hockey Exhibition. He says he wants to inspire others to talk about their ongoing battles, as speaking about them will help get through the pain.
Everyone's fighting something and everyone's got a story, and I think, we can't compare our stories. We got to find a common ground.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
The owners of a mall in downtown Sudbury have won a decades-long legal battle. Elm Place Mall has been awarded more than $900,000 in compensation 12 years after Zellers closed almost a full year before its lease ended. Vista Sudbury bought the mall in 2001 and dropped the vacancy rate by 20% by the end of 2003. The increase in tenants supported Zellers, at the time raising annual profits by more than $1 million. Despite better sales, the retailer pulled out of the mall in February 2004 with little warning, setting back the growth and redevelopment of the mall. Vista was awarded lost revenue from various leases related to Zellers' closure. It's time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, we'll have your full weather forecast, but for now, a look at the current conditions around the region. It's all quiet before the storm right now. Some cloudy skies out there, some pretty cold out there as well too, but we still have those weather alerts in place coming into effect this night for much of Wednesday. We'll have details coming up next.
Tomorrow.
That's the smoking gun.
Video that shows criminals faking crashes for insurance money.
More of the challenges that we're facing is that they're getting very sophisticated.
An inside look at the fight against the fraudsters driving up your premiums. W5 investigates tomorrow on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
Well, we're about to see some type of weather that a lot of people are not going to truly appreciate at this stage of the month of March. We've got a combination of rain, freezing rain, ice pellets, snow, and some crazy temperatures over the course of the next couple of days, and lots of snow between now and Sunday. Our forecast radar, you can see the system moving into the northeast. This is what it's going to look like by about supper time tomorrow. And again, we're in for some snow, lots of it, depending on where you live, and that will continue right through until Sunday. So let's take a look at our forecast for the next couple of days. Sudbury Nickel Belt, 2 to 4 centimeters for tomorrow, 2 to 4 tomorrow night. A chance of snow on Thursday, some snow on Friday. Saturday, chance of snow, snow on Sunday, and snow on Monday. The beat goes on for the next couple of days in Sudbury Nickel Belt. Sault Ste. Marie Algoma, 5 to 10 centimeters for tomorrow, -3 your expected high. Yes, we do have some sunshine. Guest appearance on Thursday and Saturday. Friday, chance of snow. Snow on Sunday, -3. The chance of snow on Monday. And again, your normal should be sitting at around 0, in some cases far from it. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, 5 to 10 centimeters for tomorrow. Another 10 tomorrow evening. -7 your high. Chance of snow Thursday. More of the same on Friday. A guest appearance by the sunshine on Saturday. Chance of snow Sunday. And again, the chance of snow come Monday. The temperature dropping to -13 degrees to start off the work and school week next week. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, 5 to 10 centimeters tomorrow. 5 more tomorrow evening. High of -3, chance of snow Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we get the real deal on Monday with snow and a high of -11 degrees. But take a look at the variation in temperatures at night. -11, -21, -16, -17, and -22 all over the road. What did I tell you about some crazy weather patterns, a low pressure system, and of course with it different temperatures and conditions. Now North Bay, West Nipissing, 2 to 4 centimeters tomorrow, 2 to 4 tomorrow evening. Chance of snow on Thursday, snow Friday, chance of snow Saturday, snow Sunday, and snow Monday. Wow, quite the impressive picture, I would say, Amanda Hicks. So be careful driving if you have to go anywhere for the course of the next couple of days. And let's just bear with it, because things will change and get milder. We will get rid of this snow in the next couple of days after we get the downfall in, the span of between now and Sunday from Environment Canada. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. A $1.1 million investment from the Ontario government is accelerating groundbreaking cancer research and innovation in Sudbury. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
Dr. Amadeo Parasanti is the Chief Scientific Officer with RNA Diagnostics, a clinical stage molecular diagnostics company operating its laboratory at Health Sciences North Research Institute. His work started back in 2008.
When I first came to Sudbury, and this is indicating how long this process takes, I was a bit surprised to hear that the majority of patients who get treated for breast cancer in particular, but also for other cancers, don't necessarily get a survival benefit from chemotherapy. But there was no way to be able to discern during treatment or before treatment who was going to benefit from chemotherapy and who isn't.
The technology, Veridapt DX, is currently being evaluated through the International Brevity Breast Cancer Response Evaluation for Individualized Therapy clinical trial involving approximately 650 patients across 55 cancer centers in 7 countries.
We've had preliminary results which we released last year that showed the ability of the diagnostic to identify with a 93.3% accuracy non-responders to treatment, which is our major goal: identify non-responders, get them off ineffective of therapy.
An investment of over $1.1 million from NOHFC will allow RNA diagnostics to advance towards commercialization.
It's one of those examples of where government can work with the private sector, and the two together can create things that either alone often cannot.
As the company prepares for the anticipated completion of the Brevity Phase 2 trial, the funding will support laboratory expansion, accreditation, and regulatory requirements necessary for broader market adoption. The NOHFC investment requires matching private sector funding, and RNA Diagnostics has secured more than $2 million from investors, including the Northern Cancer Foundation, who has supported Parasanti's research for more than 25 years. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
The North Shore Health Network is advising residents that Thessalon's emergency department will be closed for the next 3 days. It will be shut down starting tomorrow morning at 8 and will not reopen until Saturday morning. Blind River, Richards Landing, and Sioux Area Hospital remain open. For all medical emergencies, call 911. A Sudbury nonprofit group providing meals to those in need says it is looking for volunteers. CTV's Helena Everson tells us more.
86-year-old Andre Brisebois has been volunteering for the past 33 years, making deliveries for Meals on Wheels. He enjoys the interaction and helping others.
It's in my genes, I guess. My parents were the same.
Sudbury Meals on Wheels is a nonprofit that has been operating for close to 55 years. Freshly cooked, nutritious meals are carefully prepared and packaged in a licensed and inspected kitchen to deliver to clients 5 days a week.
Meals on Wheels is fully volunteer-based. We are always looking for volunteers because we have about 13 routes a day that go out to serve over 300 clients.
The base cost of the meals to clients is $10.25. On Tuesday, local MPPs volunteered to make deliveries.
It's a great service. I mean, the cost of staying in a retirement home or long-term care where someone's preparing meals for you is pretty expensive. And so with Meals on Wheels, seniors can stay in their homes longer, which they prefer to do, and have that independence without sort of the extra hassle of making meals.
Most of the time, the volunteers know the clients because many volunteers have been here for a long time, so there'll be a fun chat happening once the meal gets delivered, and the people are always grateful.
Meals on Wheels Sudbury is currently having to pay people to help out because of a shortage of volunteers, a cost the nonprofit would rather spend on programming. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
A 17-year-old is showing compassion for young patients at Health Sciences North in Sudbury and the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. CTV's Madison Merrier has that story.
Maya Benoit fundraised for 2 months to purchase teddy bears for children going through the same thing she did.
Even if I only help one kid out of all this, like, that's one kid who doesn't feel like this alone in the same way that I did, and that just makes me really, really happy.
Benoit says she has spent plenty of time in hospitals due to her 2019 scoliosis diagnosis. She is now feeling better after spinal fusion surgery and wants to spread the message of hope to kids who are embarrassed of the medical device.
They have a back brace, just like a scoliosis patient would, and they can come on and off, which is pretty cool because some of them have surgery scars and stitches underneath, so that's pretty fun. But yeah, the brace is just like the kind a scoliosis patient would wear, so I think it would help a lot for a little kid to see something like a stuffed animal that has the same thing that they do, because you never really see the braces anywhere.
And it'll also be a good teaching tool for our child life counselors to bring to patients when we have them in on the floor, and just normalize it. And that's the whole idea. It should be a normal part of their everyday life, and they shouldn't be afraid. So we're hoping that it does change that stigma.
Benoit is thinking of studying nursing in post-secondary school, intending to help kids with scoliosis as she can relate.
It took a really big toll on my mental health, and I realized that it made me feel really alone and really self-conscious. So I really wanted to help other kids not feel the same way.
It makes me feel very proud. It's amazing to see that she didn't just get out of the surgery and go on and be a kid. Like, she decided to try to help other kids, which is amazing.
Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
North Bay's arena was packed with about 3,000 cheering students and community members today for the annual Jack Lyons Memorial Hockey Exhibition. 4 hockey games were played throughout the day, all in memory of a young man with autism, Jack Lyons. He was only 17 when he died in 2022. His family continues autism advocacy work on his behalf. Over the past 2 years, the tournament has raised close to $34,000 for autism support.
Just remember Jack, remember kindness, remember special needs in our community for sure. Jack had a passion for life, passion for hockey, and just keep showing that passion for special needs kids in our community.
Proceeds stay in North Bay and are directed to One Kids Place, a children's treatment center. In competition today for the Paralympics was Logan LaRiviere from Sudbury. He and his guide Joe Hutton finished 12th in qualifying in the men's visually impaired cross-country sprint. Unfortunately, 12th wasn't good enough to move on, but it was the highest placement for a Canadian athlete in the race. Meanwhile, guide Ailey Brooke from North Bay worked with Maddie Mullen to qualify 6th in the women's visually impaired sprint. Mullen and Brooke would be knocked out in the semifinal. Again, a best finish for Canadian athletes. All of them will compete again tomorrow in their respective 10K classics. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. Celebrating a big win. Details next. The Sudbury Performance Group is going to be back on the stage at the Ernie Checkeris Theatre from March 12th to 28th with Jagged Little Pill.
Why are you so petrified of silence?
Alanis Morissette's music comes to life on the stage in the show named for her 1995 breakout album and written by Oscar-winning screenwriter Cody Diablo. The Tony Award-winning musical tackles heavy themes around mental health, addiction, and assault as the character navigates family dynamics.
It does tackle that those issues that we face across the globe, as I say, on a regular basis. This certainly isn't sunshine and rainbows and happiness. This is real life. This is a real life story on stage.
Ministo says the show is a pilot for possibly making the company a professional theater group. 2 Timmins residents have been recognized for their commitment to the community. Archie Berrubier and Rick Morgan recently received the Heart of Gold Civic Awards from the city. Berrubi is known for the growth of the Northern Ontario Golf Association and volunteers at Golf Ontario qualifiers and championships. Morgan has focused his efforts on helping youth participate in sports and volunteers with the Timmins Food Bank. Well done. And finally for us tonight, a Northern Ontario woman and her partner are $100,000 richer after a stroke of beginner's luck. Kayleen Gardner of Cobalt and Kyle Snodden of Bowmanville won the prize with OLG's Instant Bingo Doubler. The couple said it was their first time playing the lottery together and initially thought it was a mistake. With the winnings, they plan on paying some bills and taking a trip to Japan. Congratulations. And that takes us to the end of our newscast this Tuesday night. Thanks for watching. Good night.